Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back here to today's episode of Intuitive Angling. And man, I really appreciate you guys watching the video and spending some time with me and choosing to check out Intuitive Angling. You got so many other channels out there you can watch, so thank you very much for the support of the channel here. Got a little fun video today, guys. I want to talk about the things that you should and should not be doing as a bass angler once you turn 50 years old. I'm speaking from experience on this, not only my own personal experience, but the experience of a lot of my buddies that have gone through this as well. So I think it's going to be a fun little video, so we're going to get into that today. Also, guys, two quick things I'll remind you of before we get started. I just want to let you guys know, guys, right now, at the time of filming this video, we're into August. Tough time of year to fish, August and September. Guys, this is one of my favorite little lures for August and September. This is the Megabass 1.2 S crank. It's a little small crankbait. Guys, you want to downsize your crankbaits this time of year. You're going to catch a lot more fish on a small crankbait. So I'll put this little Megabass S crank 1.2 link in my Tackle Warehouse link in the description of this video. Pick you up a couple there, man. Just throw it around any rocky bank or riprap. You'll definitely get bit on it. And also, guys, quick reminder that Solar Bat's got that Founders Day sale going on my Signature Series glasses. Right now, you can get them at 30% off. And any purchase over $98, you get a free hard case from Solar Bat. And just use the promo code RandyB with a capital R, capital B for free shipping and handling. So really appreciate that, guys. Okay, let's talk a little bit about this aging process that everybody's going to be going through, or that you're fortunate enough to go through. Not everybody's fortunate enough to go through it, but I want to sort of get into that because I think one of the things that I do here on the channel is I like to teach you guys a lot about fishing, but I also like to just share some life lessons with you guys. Some things that have worked for me, some things that have not worked for me, and maybe just help people out. Maybe there's a little piece of info here that can help you out in your daily life as well. So what you should and should not be doing after you turn 50 as a bass angler. First of all, one of the things that you have to do, and there's a lot of people that fight this and a lot of people resist it, especially if you're a competitive angler, realize the fact that when you turn 50, it sort of happens at the age of 45 to 50 where this takes place. You're going to lose a step in your fishing, especially as a tournament angler. It has happened to everybody. There's not a single pro that has been immune to this. Now, there's going to be some guys that have sporadic success beyond 50, 60, 70. Once in a while, they're going to hit, everything will just line up perfect and they'll do good or win a tournament or whatever. But statistically, if you look at the metrics that measure consistency, like consistently qualifying for championships, consistently making checks, the top 10, every bass angler, once they turn 50, they start going downhill. I don't care if it's Rick Clunn, I don't care if it's Kevin Van Dam, I don't care if it's Denny Brauer. It happens to everybody. It happened to me, it's going to happen to you. If you're one of those hard charging dudes at the top of your game right now, you're 30, 35 years old and everything's firing on 8 cylinders, enjoy it while it lasts, because when you hit 50, it's going to start going downhill. Thing about this, one thing I'm going to give you guys some tips and advice, is don't fight it. So many guys out there, they fight this natural cycle just tooth and nail. It's like they're resistant to even acknowledge the reality of that. But one of the best things you can do is just embrace the process, embrace the cycle of life, embrace everything that comes with that next chapter of life. Because even though that you may lose a step as a competitive angler or a bass angler once you get over 50, there's a lot of other things that you can draw upon from that being that age that you couldn't before, especially when it comes to wisdom. With age comes wisdom, and sort of it gives you the ability to give something back. So instead of just focusing on yourself and, just all about you, which a lot of bass anglers do, bass fishing, especially tournament fishing, is a very egotistical, narcissistic sport. But try to give something back, man. It's like once you turn 50 and you start, you can sort of see the writing on the wall, just embrace that and start trying to be a mentor, start trying to be a teacher, because that can be even more satisfying than actually being, hard charging competitive angler when you prior to age 50. That's one thing. Next thing with that is one of the pieces of advice that I will give you guys is fish your comfort zone and fish your strength and fish how you like to fish. Now, prior to that, it's like everybody, and I think the process, happens to everybody like this. A lot of people try to be as versatile as they can. They try to, to be as diversified as they can with techniques and learning that type of stuff. Sometimes when you're really versatile like that, sometimes that not focusing on just a couple different techniques that allow you to really master a technique will create a situation where you're good at a lot of things, but you're not great at anything. And one of the things about being a competitive bass angler and winning bass tournaments is you can't just be good at everything. You have to be great at one or two particular things, because that is how you win. And like, for example, guys, out of all the major tournaments I've won in my career, every one of them, except for one, has come pitching and flipping a jig. That's my wheelhouse. That's my strength. So when I get everything lined up for that, I usually can do really good in the tournament. So that's one of the aspects there. But as you get over 50 years old, just realize that you don't have to do that anymore. Fish the way that you like to fish. If you like to throw a spinnerbait, throw a spinnerbait. If you like to flip a jig or a jerkbait or whatever, just look for that type of water out there. And because that is part of the process. Like, bass fishing should, at its really core foundation of value lies in the therapeutic healing aspect of fishing and doing what you like to do and going making your own rules up and going at your own pace. There's a lot to be said like that. If you don't like to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning to go fishing, don't get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Get up at 9:30 or 10 o'clock in the morning and go bass fishing. And that's one of the things that you realize as it comes with age. Next thing with that is one of the things that will happen when you get 50 years old or so. Things do not have the value that they used to, as far as like materialistic, ego-driven things. Like, for example, it's like when you're young and full of the vigor of life and don't know any better, a lot of dudes out there have jacked up pickups with 6-inch lift kits. They got these big ass tires on them. They got these aftermarket mufflers. They got all this hopped up equipment and all that type of stuff. And a lot of that stuff is for looks. But man, once you get over 50 years old, you don't need that, man. Just get you a regular pickup truck, stock pickup truck, get you some highway tires put on it, downsize your boat. One of the best things that's ever happened to me, guys, is, last year when I went to that, I'm still running this year off the same boat, that Vexus 1980 with 150 horsepower motor on it. It'll run mid-50s. That's plenty fast for me. Once you get 50, you realize that there's nothing smart about running balls to the wall 70, 80 miles an hour down the lake. It's dangerous. It burns a lot of gas. The potential for problems are high there. But as you get older, you don't really have to deal with that quite as much. I mean, your value structure, things that are important with you, make a shift with that in the right direction. So that's another thing you can do. The other thing you want to do, guys, after you're 50 years old, man, if there's one piece of advice that I can live or share with you guys, get your butt in the gym. I cannot overestimate or talk enough about how important that is to maintain your quality of life when you get over 50. The thing about that is most people, we lose so much muscle mass every year after we're, in our 20s or 30s or something like that. If you get your butt in the gym 3 to 5 days a week, you can actually get stronger and have more muscle than you did back in your 20s. I'm almost 64 years old, guys, now, and I can bench press and I can lift more weight right now than I could when I was in my 20s and 30s because I'm in the gym all the time. It does so much to enhance and improve your quality of life by every single metric out there that it is that's probably the most important thing I can tell you to do once you get over 50 as a bass angler, and stretch along with that. Because here's an example. It's like if you don't have your health, and I don't mean just like perfect with that, but if you don't have that, nothing else matters. It's like, would you rather be somebody that is in poor health and have $1 billion in the bank, or would you rather be somebody that's fit and jacked and don't have any money in the bank? I don't think anybody would make that first decision. It's like, I can promise you right now, guys, if there's all these old, decrepit, 80-year-old billionaires out there that can't do nothing and can't move nothing, I bet they trade every bit of it back to, being fit and in shape and, being able to do what they want to. And you can continue to do that. You can extend every positive sector of your life by simply working out and going to the gym. And I know a lot of people don't want to hear it. A lot of people have never worked out before, but if you can do one thing, get yourself a trainer. They come in a lot of different scenarios with that. It could be online training, it could be personal training, and invest in yourself. It's so important to do after you're 50 years old, because it's nothing else really. If you don't have your health, you don't really have anything at all, to speak of. But the main thing, guys, there's a lot of changes that come with getting older. I mean, it's a lot of it sucks. I mean, it does. That's just the reality of the situation. But a lot of it also is your attitude about it and how you choose to deny that reality and embrace that reality, and sort of like transition into your next phase of life. It's like every phase of life that we have, from our childhood, our teens, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, whatever. Every single chapter of our life has, a richness to it, some things that we can draw upon it. So don't let the fact that you're losing a step in your bass fishing and you're losing a step, whatever, degrade that experience, because, it can be fulfilling right up to the end. I don't care if you live to be 100, there's things that, can take place that will really make you get the most out of life. So anyway, guys, just a few random thoughts today. Really appreciate you guys joining in. And man, I gotta tell you guys, I really appreciate everybody that's been supporting intuitive angling. If you're one of those people out there that have taken time like to subscribe to the channel and you watch the videos every day and use all those links I talk about, like my tackle warehouse link, just I want you guys to know it's a big thank you for me and my family. Really appreciate that. So anyway, guys, talk later. See you.